Peace and blessings, family. I'm your brother Juan Carlos Sex at Slatestone Music anywhere online. Welcome to the Plug Room, where you can plug your business, plug your brand. Here at the Plug Room, we are all about community development, which is building people and linking people with people. And if you follow us online, theplugroom.com, hashtag the Plug Room, you'll see a number of guests, a number of businesses that we've been fortunate and blessed to work with. Fortunate enough and blessed to work with that we strive to compliment on every day, on a daily basis. And so I appreciate you, whatever platform you're tapping in on. We have a guest today who is a writer, an owner. She does real estate. She's a licensed agent, CEO. She does a number of things, a published artist. And so we're going to tap into her story, plug in with her, and build and see what we can get from her. So without any further delay, share this at wherever platform you may be watching it on. We appreciate it. And let us bring up our guest right now, Miss Angel Allen. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, brother.
How you doing today?
I'm well. I can't complain.
That's good. That's good. So in your own words, for those who have not heard of you or may not know you, who is Angel Allen and what are you known for?
Angel Allen is a very resilient woman from St. Louis, Missouri, known for a lot of things. So I can't even pinpoint how people know me sometimes. But like you said, entrepreneur. I've owned a cleaning company for years, 14 years, real estate agent, licensed insurance agent, licensed notary, publisher now, hip hop. Like I've done a number of things, very involved in my community back home, St. Louis, before I moved to Florida a few years ago also.
Indeed, indeed. So Miss Angel, what was the genesis of Angel Allen, the entrepreneur? What was your beginning into all of the different things that you do?
So my story was deep. Young mother at 16, had my first daughter. And then I had my second daughter at 19. She passed away from SIDS at the age of 3 months, 2003. Then I lost my brother in 2005. I had two big brothers, and I lost my second brother. So going through the trials that I went through, seeing what happens when people pass away, being in the front row, having a view of body the last time, by the last close, put me in a mindset to want to get this project done.
Indeed, indeed. So first off, may Allah, God, the Creator, be pleased with those that have transitioned in your family, and the strength and resilience that it takes to go on at a young age and dealing with the hurt and the loss. I lost my mother. I lost other family members, but losing my mother was a trial in itself, you know, so I can relate in that aspect of losing someone you love. So I just want to say peace and blessings to you and your family for having that strength and that pushing you into the project you mentioned. Mm-hmm. So what was that first project that it pushed you towards, that experienced those C moments, as I call it, significant emotional events that pushed you into this project? What was that first project for you?
The first project that I did after, and my condolences to you, brother, was my cleaning company. Excuse me, my cleaning company for sure. I was making money. I was doing well for myself, and one of my brothers he left us 18 children. So my family had become big, and the heads were gone. So for some reason within my spirit, I felt as if I had the power to hold my family. So that's when I started my entrepreneurship. I opened the business. I started to hire youth in my neighborhood. So that was my first big, I'm going to step out and bring people with me, and we going to change the dynamic. That was the change, definitely.
And when you say your cleaning company, is that the Guardian Angels cleaning?
Correct. Yep.
Now, with that being your first project or your first step in entrepreneurship, did you have mentorship, any guidance, or did you just go out there blind and say, hey, I'm going to get it done?
Those boys, my brothers, were my eyes. Them was my teachers. They were 12 and 14 years older than me. So after they left, I felt blind. Nobody was sitting me down for free just to give me information. So what happened was I started to go to women's conferences. I started to pay to get in some rooms with some people who could shake the room. Joyce Myers, Sarah Jake Roberts, Cheryl Brady. I started to follow women that were preaching the word and paying to get in these rooms, and I was soaking up as much as I could from paying to get in the room and understanding the spirit was moving.
Indeed. Now, what was the transition point for you from guardian angels, being an entrepreneur, investing in yourself, going to these conferences, watching your brothers, learning from these women? How did that transition into the next project or stage, whatever stage that may be? You can enlighten us on if it was the music, if it was the real estate. How did it transition to that next step for you?
I never stopped. So I can't even tell you in which forms the accolades came. But after the cleaning company, my next big thing was, to me, the de-escalation. And I got on a team with a community outreach program called Better Family Life. We did outreach. We gave out Norcan, food, all type of stuff. But I was signed to the de-escalation program, which what we did were we took incoming calls from people who were shot at. And we went and talked to the adversaries of these peoples and tried to get truths, like Bloods and Crips, the beginning of it all. Because we weren't trusting the police in the area either. So that was like a big heart part of me, transition for me to be back like in the face of what I went through. So I think that was my next big breaking point, because I'm seeing mothers that were my mothers. I'm seeing little sisters who were me. I'm seeing boys who will possibly be my brothers. And my compassion exploded. So between the cleaning, I was doing all type of stuff. I was still doing the insurance. I got my real estate license. I did so many things. Like, I just got my notary today. Like, I just be doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was everything. I just pushed. My pain was my power. And I tell that to the youth all the time. Like, I know it's hurting, like becoming a young adult, but either we gonna hurt and sit down, or we gonna hurt and come out healed with something. And right. I was working that pain. So I was into a lot of things, but the de-escalation program, like I said, you walk into a house and there's 60 shots on the wall. And the first thing you see when the door opens is a door explorer. I got shook up, and I wanted to do more than just walk around and talk about it.
Indeed. Well, thank you for your community work.
What I
mean? And being that guide and that light to people in those situations, and an advocate for those who were shot at or in those situations. Now, when it comes to the Trap House, Volume 1, let us know a little bit about that, how you came up with the acronym, where that idea and thought came from, and what is your aim and purpose of the Trap House?
Okay, so after the de-escalation, COVID hit while we were doing it. I moved to Florida. I had a spiritual awakening when I turned 30. I had paid for some counseling because, and I brought myself to Florida, and I had a moment, and on the beach, I felt in my spirit, God said, this is home. Like, you're safe. So when COVID hit, that came back over me. And I called in her, I got me a house. I moved to Florida. And when I got here, everything from the community, everything from my life, everything that was happening, again, I was like, how can I get this right? Like, now I see the problem for real. And we're uneducated in a lot of things. We don't have life insurance. We're going to GoFundMes. I buried my people with my 401k. So that was my retirement plan. That's gone. Didn't have a backup plan because I didn't know these things. So seeing it up front and then being able to step away. And when I moved to Florida, I bought into the tribe. Again, I paid to get in the rooms. So the tribe was like, wow, I can take everything that I have and now make a product. So even if they don't get it today, brother, I can leave it for generations to come. It's set in stone. So it was in my spirit to do it. And then I sent my kids to school for their first day, and God said, run a bubble bath. I got in the tub, and he said, get your phone. I pulled up in the phone, got my voice recorder, and I just started going. In the midst of this, I met Con from the tribe, and he was like my back push. He was on me. Sis, come on. waiting on. Like, come on, give us that. Like, you want to keep talking about it? I'm like, no. So I finally pushed in, and this is what happened. So I think me being able to move away, because sometimes when it's so much going on, you can't just give more than what you're giving. That when I moved here, I took a breath. And this is what I breathed. It was the trap house. So the trap house is what I feel we say in the hood, right? We at the trap house. This is what we do. But instead, let's trap in generational wealth. Let's trap in the stuff that's really going to matter. You know what I mean? So it's teaching revenue and advancing purpose. It tells you about life insurance, all the different forms, from term to final expense. It tells you about wills and trust, TODs, how to leave your cars, your property, instead of it going to probate. And then as I was writing it, God said, what else did you see? And what else I saw was, even some of us who knew it, we weren't mentally stable. We weren't self-aware enough to be strong to do these things. So the second portion of the book is just that. It's the divine, getting in touch with your spirit, understanding who you are, what you're called to do, stepping into your purpose, healing from trauma, and some techniques to do so. And then the back of the book, the final back, the third portion, are just the forms. Like, I made it plain and simple. You can leave your ring to your daughter. You can leave, where are your credit cards? What are the numbers? If I have love letters, some of us wish we could just go back and read a letter from our family, your mother, my brothers, you know what I mean? So I have love letters that you can leave. It's just literally a first guide, volume 1, to how to trap in the trap house, what we need that's going to last for generations to come.
That's dope. And that's impacting, and that's powerful to have it all in one place and to hear where that idea sparked from and how you poured in it, from sending the kids to one day to sitting in the bath, grabbing a phone and start pouring into that voice recorder, just all that was in you, that was trapped in, that you now put into a format that people were familiar with in the hood or wherever their community was, the trap house, the terminology, but teaching revenue and advancing purpose, you know what I mean? And then giving them the forms, the how-to. And then not only that, but getting your mind right on how to do it. And then also, here's some of the paperwork you can do it all in one, that's awesome.
What we waiting on?
No excuses. And salute to Coach Khan, because he actually inspired me to do this plug room. That plug room platform was birthed from me and him calling me 2-3 in the morning, on the phone, just pouring into me. And that's 1,000,
Dropping jewels. I love this man. When he called, I'm like, yes, let me get a piece of paper.
Right. Indeed. So how long have you been in the business of entrepreneurship?
I started my business, the cleaning company, in 2014.
2014. What would you say your why is?
And I like that, because that's what Ben X hit me with the first time. And I was like, boy. And my why has changed, because then it was my kids. It was my family. Because what I'm learning also for any parent, like your children are going to become individuals. They're not like mini me's or anything. And they're going to go out and they're going to do their own little thing. And if when they leave, I don't have purpose, that's sad. And we've seen it. We've seen people get old and be like, man, I want my kids back. Like, what do I do now? So now it's the divine and love. That's my why. I have something in me, and I love love.
Indeed. Angel Allen, what would you say makes you unique? What makes the brands that you stand behind different than other brands? What makes you unique?
Because I am me. Only I can do what I'm doing and tell you my story. It's mine. God, he made this moment for me. Like, I feel like we're all special, but this is my path. It's no other me. You're not going to get the trap house out of nobody else. Nobody's lived this life to give you this. So just because I'm divinely called, I'm special. And we all are.
Right. We all are. Now, this next question is one question, but it applies to the Guardian Angels cleaning business and the trap house. The question is, what value do you bring when it comes to the cleaning business? what's the value in it when we have thousands or hundreds of cleaning businesses out there? What value do you bring?
Well, yeah, my spirit for one. The angels was in the house, the guardians was in the crib. But the value overall is I think my persistence in the way that I look at again what I'm delivering. So it's beyond me. And when the picture is that big, the value is just, it's not just can I get some money or something. It's big purpose behind both of those things. And like I said, the cleaning company not only blessed my family, but I was able to hire other young youths, parents like my kids were never cleaning up, like I don't know how to get behind the toilet. And then for the trap house, again, nobody has put for our people in one place what this is. To just sit down and just indulge and be able to write it out and say, I've done this portion of what I needed to do for my next step. So I think it's just, again, divine purpose. My value is just within my purpose and I bring it. Some people aren't motivated by purpose. It's money, it's some other things. So my aura is like just the divinity.
Yeah, indeed. Now, when it comes to the trap house, can you explain or give us a little brief description on the process it took from you pouring the information into your phone to the actual hardback book for those who may be interested in doing that or even want to know about your story and how that worked or how long it took?
Definitely. Foot on the pedal. I wasn't working. So again, I came out here and kind of retired for a few years. But so it took me a month to get the content together. Like I wasn't sleeping. I was waking up at 3 o'clock like an alarm clock. So it took me a month, but it's taken me a year to get to this part. And what I did initially was I was like, oh my God, I want to get this to the hood really fast for a cheap price. So I was pressing it at home. But I didn't like what it looked like, and people wasn't taking it serious because it's like, what is this, right? Like, what are you talking about? So I started to feel like I needed to do more. So what I did, I edited myself. Then I got on, I think it's Fiverr. My daughter is 23, so she was giving me some plugs. So she put me on Fiverr. I found someone to do the work. Didn't really like what was coming out of it. Again, I feel like it needed to be purpose. So I eventually found Amazon Pros, and that's who I went with. So they redid the cover. I didn't like the first one. I mean, they did a great job. And then I wanted the size because I needed people to be able to write. So it was Amazon. I paid a couple $100. They have different packages, and the more you pay, the more platforms you're on. And things like that. So it was Amazon and Fiverr for you can do editing. I mean, there's so much stuff on there. That place has blessed my life. So yeah, Fiverr, everybody needs to get it on your phone. If you do something, you need to be on there selling something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then once it just came to, I think it was Christmas this year, I paid for everything, had everything finalized, and it's just been coming in. Yeah. Here we are. What is it? I don't even know what May.
Yeah, that's tight. That's tight. I mean, you got an actual not hardback, but you got a physical product, workbook, legit on and offline. You know what I mean? That's an accomplishment.
Yes.
What solutions do you provide? What are some of the solutions you provide? What are some of the problems that you solve?
Education, the lack of. Again, some of us aren't doing because we don't know. And then some of us aren't getting mental help. So it was the gap that I saw when I was in the community. Why are we continuously doing this? We're watching each other die. We're hearing the gunshots. We know what's happening. We don't have life insurance. What's the issue? And then when I'm talking to my people, they like, yo, what's the difference from term to whole? So I'm like, wow, we don't know some of these things. But then again, how do you heal from trauma? Because we're there too. And until we can heal, it's not clear to us that we even need to do the work. So that's the solution, is to get our mind right and then to secure what's next. Like, we don't work 50, 60 years for our kids not to have what we work for, or to have a life insurance policy that you can borrow out from and go on a retirement trip or whatever needs to happen. So it's the solution, I feel like, the gap that I was seeing from my family and from my community.
For sure. How do you give back to the community? What are some of the ways? Now, I know that you give back with the education, and I know that you also gave back to the community by getting your family members and going out there doing the entrepreneurship. But how do you give back to what are some of the other ways you give back to the community?
I constantly feed the homeless, something that my children have always done since they were younger. And then we also pass like clothes and stuff. I'm not selling nothing. We're going to give everything away. Anytime I feel like I can get in, I still do food drives here in Florida. So if I'm bored, or not even bored, but if I got some free time, then I'm like out trying to do something, connecting with people behind the dots, just to tell my story, because we have politicians that I've ran into. And I was very close to that when I was with the de-escalation program. I actually got a letter here from the governor of Missouri, but being able to be the gap in between that two, from the streets to that chair that doesn't understand what we're going through. Yeah.
Indeed. Now, are you currently hiring in any of your businesses or taking internships in any of your businesses?
I am not. When I say I took some years off, brother, I took some years off. So I don't burn through a couple of my little savings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm actually back. I sold the cleaning company when I moved to Florida. And I had some property in St. Louis too. So I basically sold everything and moved here. I took some time off of my mental health, my life, my kids. I've always worked 2-3 jobs and went to school. So I was a mother who cooked breakfast and dinner in the morning. To have the hot food when they coming through the door was a different feeling. So I took that in for a few years. And no, I'm currently doing insurance and just building up the book, like building up my brand at this time. So hopefully next year, yeah, it'll be some stuff I can hand off and I can move around. But right now I'm completely building my own enterprise.
Indeed. Now, in building your own enterprise with the things that you're dealing with, the life insurance, you received your note, you got your notary, you said you're doing the cleaning business. I know that you sold, but you still operate in different facets of business. How do you keep your brand separate from other brands that are in the same industry? How do you stand out among them?
Drive, persistence, consistency. And like I said, I got a heart of man. I'm little, but woo. Like I'm coming and you gotta feel me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think it's again aura, but it's of course I have to stay consistent. You got to be dedicated. You got to get up on the days you don't want to get up and put a smile on your face. So this reflects when you're genuine and you're just there to make sure you're doing great. People feel that. So that's what I do. I hold very dear to my heart. I was raised like do right. You know what I'm saying? We all know what's wrong. We all know what cutting the corner is, but do what's right and stick to it. It's gonna be a harder road, but the payoff is good and it's stable. It's like that rock when the storm came through. One man had the rock, he had the house with the sand. When it's like that, it doesn't leave. It's always a base to go back to. So I've never had an issue. I don't cut corners. I don't get over on people. No, I'm coming in love. I'm leaving in love. And I'll see you again. And we're going to be like, hey, you know?
Yeah. That upright righteousness and doing right is in our nature. Although, like you said, we know how to do what's wrong because that's also a part of us too. And some people rather take that easy road or that wrong side than the right side. So,
and my cleaning company grew off of referrals. Like I tell people how to kind of, I got ripped off a little bit, but if you like don't know how to start, like Coverall and Jana King and these places you can buy contracts. So I was like buying contracts at first, but the referrals, just doing the good work, showing up, being there. 85% of your growth is in your referrals. We taught this already, and it paid off.
Indeed, it did. Now, what is a story you can share with us on your impact value? How Angel Allen or one of your businesses or your book, one of your gifts has impacted somebody and they come back and let you know about that?
It's always my motivation. Like I'm telling you, bro, my phone don't ring. My phone ring like Con. That's why he's like, sis, you need to be consulting. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like Sister Angel Allen. That's you know is. Everybody calls me for motivation, financial tips, life insurance, like what I do. And it's been like this my whole life. But my motivation, my spirit. Like people are very drawn to my spirit. I have a hella high discernment, and I be knowing stuff. So they be trying to tap in, I be trying to get back. So yeah, it's definitely the divine. My grandfather was very, very, he was supposed to have been a Catholic priest, and the church chose to marry my grandmother, had 10 kids, Black woman back in 1930. I love that story, but he was like the core. And he taught us that spirit leads, and we never saw them without. You know what I mean? So again, yeah, it's about the spirit.
Indeed. I got a couple more questions for you, and then we'll wrap up this interview. How important is networking to you and your brand and what you do?
Oh, and I had to learn this because I was like, thought I was my own army for a long time, you know. But when I got to Florida, I'm like, whoa, everybody back home, don't nobody already know me. It opened me up again to understand that you just are as powerful as the people you can reach. So your network is everything. Like this book is doing nothing if I'm the only one know that I got the book. You know what I mean? Right. So the network is everything. Like this is how we share spirits again. It's how we share testimony. And to me, the only gift, I can't give anybody anything, my heart, my mind, but I can inspire. And that's what I'm sent to do. And that's what I think we're all sent to do. So networking is testimony and inspiration.
No doubt. If you had the opportunity, that presidential button to speak to everybody on this planet, be seen on every device, every television screen, every cell phone, heard on every speaker, and they were hearing your voice and seeing your face, what would you say to the people at that moment?
Tap into yourself. Understand why and what you're here for. Why you do and say what you say. Put yourself in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said. And from that point, once you figure out what's inside of you, let the world have it. Let the world have it. We're all sent to do something important. And I also want to say, no matter what you're going through, it ain't over. If you woke up, it's a reason. So get to work.
Get on it. Get to work.
Get to work.
You got breath in your body. We got these devices. You got a cell phone. It could be worse. You could not even woke up. So
I say unravel. I tell her, like, just unravel. Like, let him turn back the layers. Let you understand what the layers are. You know, sometimes we in healing, we have to reparent ourselves and get it together. But we, again, will be distracted. It's time for us to get with us. What do you really want? Who are you? What are you here for? And when you can answer them questions, get to work.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, I want to say thank you, Miss Angel Allen, for your time, for sharing your gifts and your stories. At this point in time, plug your business, plug your brand, and tell the people what you want to tell them.
Yeah, so this is the Trap House. That's why I'm here, y'all. Trap House for y'all see it. This is on Amazon. I have the audio version. Unfortunately, with the audio, you won't get the paperwork, but it's available if you need to just listen to it and take it in. You can write it down yourself. But it's on the platform. You can order through me, 314-498-2063. Text Legacy. Somebody will hit you back. We'll get you a book. We also are doing pre-orders through the line, 314-498-2063. So you actually get $20 off. It's $45 on the platform and $19 for the audio. I'll be in St. Louis July the 22nd doing an event called Pause. That's my first event. Pretty awesome, unique sisters exhaling, and the books will be there. I done one blank, bro. What you asked me?
I know. I just told you to plug your business, plug your brand.
Oh, okay. I'm like, no, I'm gonna give you my whole itinerary. I forgot what you told me. Like you asked me, what's your schedule?
You're doing good. You did that already.
I will be there. I'll be doing that. My Instagram is Mrs. Angel Magdalene. So if y'all know about Mary, y'all know about Mary Magdalene, then y'all know how my spirit feel. Like I go back and check for Jesus. Do you hear me? Right? They say he was word. I ain't been here with y'all. Like I love the spirit. So my handle on IG is Mrs. Like I'm married to the Magdalene. You hear me? Angel Magdalene. And then my Facebook is my name, Angel Allen. You know, all my stuff is public. Miss Magdalene on TikTok. And on TikTok, I do have some like homeowners tips, and you know, I'm able to throw some tips. I've been having fun with that. So you come on there and get some tips. A lot of inspirational talking is on there. But those are my handles, Angel Allen or Angel Magdalene, Mrs. Angel Magdalene.
Indeed. Well, once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your gifts and your story. And that wraps up this plug room. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you on the top, and we'll have to circle back around and follow up with you down the road when you
leveling up. Yeah, you said it today. Like, if the world was watching, they found me.
Right? They may be
I
watching.
appreciate you, man. I definitely do, brother.
Likewise. Peace and blessings, sister.
Same to you.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you tap in with Miss Angel Allen again. Thank you for watching. Share this out. Don't forget at the plug room, we like to tell everyone to measure yourself to yourself, not to what to others have done. Always strive to be better tomorrow. Do you, be honest, be creative, and stay 1000. I am your brother, Juan Carlos X, at Slate Stone Music, anywhere online. This is the plug room where you can plug your business, plug your brand. Until next time, peace.